In this video, we're going to overview the Canvas tool. To open the Canvas tool, go to the main menu and click Tools. Then, in the search box at the top, type in Canvas. You'll see Canvas listed under the Content menu. Go ahead and click that option. Now, immediately, the Canvas will open up full screen and it will be a floating window. Now let me overview the interface before we get into interacting with the elements. Now over at the top left, very important, you have the hamburger menu. That is the three horizontal lines. When you click that, that will remove this menu at the left. These are the various objects that you can drag and drop into the canvas. Now, I already have some items populated in my favorites. That's what you're seeing here. The next section is info cards, and I will demonstrate that in a few minutes. Then we have highlights, so you can see the various elements there. To bring an element over, you simply left click and drag it, or you can double click and that will add it as well. If you click the triangle, you can collapse a section. If you click the triangle again, you can expand the section. Here we have basic elements, lines and arrows. Here are the hand-drawn items. There's quite a variety of shapes, as you can see listed here. And then text. So you can drag and drop text boxes, as you can see with the various items here. Now you can change the magnification by clicking here on the magnification button, and you can choose any kind of percentage. You can reset the zoom, as well as fit window, fit page width, fit page, and fit 2 pages. You can manually increase or decrease the magnification with the magnifying plus and magnifying minus. You can also undo and redo. This can be really important if you make a mistake of adding something that you don't want. The left is the undo, and the right is the redo. The Insert Passage button allows you to insert any kind of text from any Bible. So if we type in John 3:16, Logos will confirm with a drop-down menu the passage we entered in. I'll click on John 3:16. We can choose our preferred Bible translation. You can insert Hebrew and Greek. Once you do that, you can click Add to Canvas, and the passage will be inserted into our Canvas document. Now over at the right, we have some additional formatting controls. Now, like the hamburger menu, we have the paintbrush icon that's located right here, and that will toggle on and toggle off the menu, giving you more space to draw. Now we have 3 tabs. We can change the style, which essentially is dealing with colors. Then we have text, and you have quite a few options here. And then we have the arranging. This helps you to arrange multiple objects so that they are aligned. Let's click on Style. Down below, we have a couple additional options. First, you'll see the 3 vertical dots, the stoplight menu. If you click it, you can see what page you're currently viewing. You can insert, delete, rename, and duplicate a page. You can see page 1 here, and if you double click it, you can then rename the page, or you can simply right click on the object, and that will also allow you to insert, delete, rename, and duplicate. You'll see the plus, that will allow you to insert a page. At the top right, you'll see the vertical 3-dot menu, the stoplight menu. If you click it, notice you can change the magnification. You can also undo, redo. Notice the keyboard shortcuts at the right. You can export your canvas as an image. You can also get access to other people's canvases, and we'll look at that in a few moments. You can also share, duplicate, and delete. You're familiar with the rest of these menu options. Also, there is a freehand drawing tool. So if you click that icon, in freehand mode, you can begin to draw the object. Over at the left, you can change the color as well as the thickness. Let's change this to red. And then click Apply. Notice the previous object did not change color, but as I draw now, the new color is red. And if I want to increase the thickness, I can click on the up and down arrows to get the right size, and now my line is thicker. Now this is very important. If you close the document at this point, you will discard your drawings. You have to click Add to Drawing in order for the objects to be added. Notice now it's treated as one object, which now you can move around. Let's right-click on the object. Notice we have a variety of menu options: delete, cut, copy, duplicate, to front to back, edit, and edit link. Let's choose delete. Let's click on the icon to draw once again. And this time let's draw, and let's change the color of an object. To do that, we need to click on the object and then press add to drawing. Now to change the color of the object, then click border, then click the color box at the right, and then choose your color. Let's say green. Click apply. Let's go ahead and interact with some of the elements on our page. Let's interact with the verse. Now, if you click the verse once, you'll see there's two lines to the left and the right. And if you float your mouse over the passage, the cursor changes. This allows you to move the object. Let's go back to our Bible verse. We'll click it once, then we'll click it a second time. Notice that the borders went away. This is to let you know visually that you're now inside the box and you're interacting with it. Let's go ahead and click the info cards at the left. Notice what's happened. Logos has brought information into our canvas related to the word we clicked on, in this case, sun. Now, it turns out the article was also brought in because in the Greek, the article is connected to this particular word. So we get both Greek words. Now you can see here that we've got the article, we've got a Bible word ring for the sun. So here we have the original language info for the article, as well as for the actual Greek word for sun. We also have some additional information on the person. Of course, this is God and Jesus. And then we have a word lookup box for the word sun. You can take any one of these boxes, these cards, and drag them over to the canvas. And when you release it, Logos will draw a dotted line from the words you looked up to the info card. So this allows you to visually inform people of what the text means. At the top right, you'll see an icon. And if you click on that icon, that'll actually open up the Bible Word Study link and take you back to Logos. So in other words, these cards are interactive for any user with Logos Bible software. Let's go back to our canvas. Now you notice that when you float your mouse over items, you're going to see blue triangles. Let's talk about those for a moment. So first, if you double click on the blue triangle, it will actually duplicate the box identical, and it will create a link flowing from the first box to the clone box. Now to undo that, you can click here at the top left at the undo button. For PC users, press Control-Z, and for Mac users, press Command-Z. I'm going to click the undo button located here. Now when you float your mouse, you get access to the blue triangles. And instead of double clicking on the blue triangle, let's left click and drag. Notice that an arrow now begins to shoot out, and we can connect that to other objects. Or we can release it, and now it's floating. Now let's float our mouse again over the object. You'll notice that X's appear. What are those X's? Well, those X's, if you float your mouse over it, will turn into a green circle. And those too can be places, when you left click and drag, where arrows can shoot out of, and then you can connect to other items. Now you notice that there are dots that appear on these lines. That allows you to change the shape or the length of the line. So I'm going to float my mouse here. You can see the mouse has changed. And now I can change the orientation of that line. This will give you a little more finer control to orient your lines so you can draw them exactly where you want them to go. You'll notice also that there is an X at the head and tail of each line. If you click that X and then drag, that will allow you to remove the line from where it is connected. To completely delete the line, just select it and press the delete button. Notice the line was removed, but the objects it was connected to was not. Now let's take a look at our line object. Let's click on that. Now here we have a grid with dots around it. And as we said before, when you float your mouse over those dots, that allows you to change the shape and length of those lines. So in this case now, we are reshaping our line. Now if we double click in the box, you notice that we can start typing. So we can add text to our boxes. Now once you begin to type in text, you'll see at the right, we have the text editor box. So we can change the color, the style, alignment, and a whole bunch of other items. I'll let you explore that in more detail. And just like the other triangles, if we double click, we clone it. If we press Control-Z or Command-Z, that will undo it. If we left click on the triangle and drag it, We can also have a line jet out of it. Notice, though, that we do not have any of the small X's coming out of the box. Now, as you're interacting with objects, keep an eye on this formatting box over at the right. Now, what you may not be aware of is that these 8 color boxes, if you click the little chevrons, you can get access to other styles of color. And there's basically this one, and this one. So a total of 3. We've already examined the text, and here's the arrange. Now, in order to take advantage of arrange, let's click on 2 separate objects that are not aligned. To do this, you hold down the Shift button and click on each one. So click on the first one, hold down the Shift button, click on the second object. Now, notice the options. If you scroll down, we get the align feature. So let's align these by middle, and there we go. And we can group them as well. So now it's one object, and now when we move it, we move both. This can be very important if you're organizing information and want to keep a particular arrangement. Notice you can rotate, click clear rotate 90 degrees, or you can specify very specific degrees. This will allow you to have much more finer control. Now let's click back on our text object. Notice here we have the option clear waypoints. Let's click that. Now, as you add more and more objects to the canvas, recognize you may have to get into a layered situation. For example, if I drag this over here, you can see that the object is behind the info card. Now, if I click on the card and click to back, we now have moved the card back, and now I can see the other object. So be aware that you may have to move something to the front or move something to the back in order to view all your layered objects. To add a page, simply click the plus button, and now you have a new page in Canvas. Notice that all these pages are connected to this single Canvas document. Now, to name the document, you simply just click on the tab, go over here to the right where it says Document Title, and you can say My Canvas. And that will allow you to name the canvas. Notice the additional options. You can turn the grid on and off. You can look at a page view. You can even change the background. You can also disable the connection arrows, connection points, and the guides. You can also change the paper size. Now, this is only important if you intend to print out your document. Then make sure your paper size matches the paper you're printing to. You can also do portrait or landscape. By clicking the share button, you can share this Canvas document with other individuals. We've demonstrated this feature in the past. It works identically here in Canvas. Let's click on the stoplight menu there at the top right. Notice you can export as an image. So let's go back here. Let's click on the stoplight menu, click export image. Notice you can make it a transparent background. You can crop, selection only, and click export. In a few moments, LearnLogos will open the menu. Notice that you have the option with the drop-down menu to export it as PNG, bitmap, JPEG, TIFF, and GIF. So those are all available. Let's choose PNG, and we'll call this test. Let's go to my desktop and open this document. And here is the document. As you can see, it's a pretty good representation of what I just exported. Let's go ahead and close this document and return to Canvas. Over here at the left, we can change the size of our information at the left, so be aware of that. You have vertical scroll bars to move up and down, as well as left and right. Simply hover your mouse to get access to those scroll bars. As you can see, there's a lot to do with the Canvas tool. What I'd like to do next is show you some of the interesting work that's available to you. Let's click on the stoplight menu at the top right, and let's choose Get Shared Canvases. Now I'm going to close my Bible Word Study window. I'm going to maximize this window. Notice that simply the Documents window is opened up and it went right to public. I recommend going over to the left, locate the filter types, and click on Canvas. If you don't see Canvas in the list, click More, and then locate Canvas and click it. This way, your list will only comprise of Canvas documents. I'm going to click on Date to sort mine by most recent. Notice when I clicked on Date, it started with the oldest. Let's click Date one more time to see the most recent documents at the top. Now this is under Public. These are all the documents that are available to you to download free of charge from LearnLogos. I recommend scanning through those so you can see the different documents people have created. Now I'm going to click on yours, which is my personal documents, and I downloaded several from the public that I think will be very interesting to show you to demonstrate the potential of this tool. Here, for example, is Books of the Bible periodic table. Let me click that. Canvas will open up. Now, I have a scroll mouse, so I'm going to hold down my control button and hit the scroll button, and that way everything can fit into one screen. And there we go. So here's the Books of the Bible set up as a periodic table. As you can see, that's a lot of work to create something like this, but it's a great visual and may come in handy for you to share with others. Let's go ahead and click the X to close this document. Here's Revelation Art Summary. Let's click on that item to open it up. Now, this is pretty cool because not only is it a single document, notice that it's multiple pages. You can see that down below. Now, we click on Intro 2, see how it linked and brought me to page 2. Now, there is a zoom issue that I have to keep remembering to do, and that's kind of annoying that it can't remember, but we can see the 50% here. Now, let's go to Revelation chapter 1. Now, we could just save time by clicking on 50% or choose Fit Window. And there we go. So this particular document shows how we can put multiple pages together for a particular book. And again, this is a wonderful overview of the book of Revelation. Let's go ahead and click on the X at the top right to close this window. Let's click on one more, Creation Interactive. I'm going to click on the menu and choose Fit to Window. And here we have day 1, an introduction. Notice it is interactive, so we can click on day 1 and again click Fit to Window, and we can work our way through each day of the creation story. Let's go ahead and click X at the top right to close this window. Let me do one more, B.B. Warfield's Family Tree. Now, I bring this one into view because I wanted you to show you how unique and flexible this tool really is. We can even do genealogies. Now, one of the features that's kind of handy, let's say we see an object that we like and would like to reuse it rather than redraw it. Let's click on this item. Now that it's selected, I'm going to click on the plus icon right here under Favorites. Now it's been added to my favorites. If I click on that icon, you can see that the object has now been added. So when you're drawing, if you have objects that you're going to reuse multiple times, I recommend taking advantage of the favorites. You can also drag and drop the favorites as well. Now, before we wrap up, there's a couple more features that I want to show you. First, at the top left, you'll see a Find Items with a magnifying glass. This allows you to search all those symbols. So let's click on the Search magnifying glass, then click in the Find Items box, and let's type in square. Then press Enter. Right below the search box, you'll see all the items that are returned in the search results that match what you're looking for. Here's all the basic squares. To clear the search results, just click the X, and that'll put it back to where it was before. Now, there's another interesting feature. I'm going to draw a line from this first person to the second person. As we demonstrated in previous videos, if we float our mouse over those little dots, we can reshape the line. Over at the right, I've clicked the tab Arrange. This gives us the option Clear Waypoints. Let's click that. It resizes the line to its most efficient and concise connection. Now, another wonderful feature, as we demonstrated earlier, is the link feature. Let me show you how this works. First, I'm going to create a second page. So I'm going to click the plus down here before, and we'll just call it page 2. Let's now click on the tab for page 1. I'm going to right-click on this icon here and choose Edit Link. With the Edit Link window that now appears, we have two options. We can link to a website or a Logos resource, or we can link to a page. Now, this is pretty straightforward. Let's click Link to a Page, and then we click the drop-down box, and all the pages are listed. If we choose page 2 and click Apply, now we click the object, because it's so small, a hyperlink shows up page 2, and we can click it, and now we have access to page 2. Now let's right-click on that object again, choose Edit Link, and let's go with the first option. Now, link to a website is pretty straightforward. You can right-click and paste in a web page. But how do we link to a Logos resource? Let me demonstrate. Let's go back to Logos, and I'm just going to open up a Bible, pretty straightforward. I'm going to go over to the stoplight menu at the top right and click it. And I'm going to choose copy location as L4. Now I'm going to close my Bible down. I'm going to return back to my document. I'm going to right click and paste that link in there and click apply. Now if we click our object, the hyperlink appears and we click that hyperlink, Logos will go back to the program and reopen that specific spot to that specific book. Let's return to Canvas. As you can see with these capabilities, you can link to just about anything from Canvas. And now you can lead people not only visually, but you can lead them to additional information. Now, the last thing I want to show you is how to download a Canvas document, or for that matter, any other document. We've covered this in a previous video, but let's just take a moment to do this. Let's go back to Logos. Once again, you'll click Public so you can view all the Canvas documents in the public section. And then all you simply do is click on the item, go to the top right, click Add to your documents. A blue bar will appear momentarily. That's to let you know it's downloading. Once the blue bar disappears, click on Yours. Now to find the document, let's click on the filter Canvas since we did download a Canvas. And then let's type in the first part of the name, Ephesians. And there we go. There's our Ephesians 1:3 through 14 interactive. And there's our document. As you can see, the Canvas tool is quite flexible and can be a great way to show information visually, linking them to additional information.